Mike Tindall, naughty old Mike Tindall, has been filmed online in a club cavorting with a lady. And he said, no, it's all right, we were friends from uni. And then someone remembered that he didn't go to uni. And then he said, oh, it's all right, it was a friend from the wedding. Which is good, because it means if that's what he's doing to wedding guests, at some point in the next couple of weeks, the Queen is going to get it.
Just we get a picture of him.
It looks like a big toe.
I can absolutely see that. Yes, he does.
The only thing they saw him do was he rubbed his face into her breasts. Went like that. If you're a rugby player, that's basically a scrum.
There was no sound on the video, so this is all... That's in your head, you've seen that.
Well, there's got to be some noise. If you've seen his face and her breasts, there's going to be a noise. You put those two together, it's not going to be... It's going to be... at the very least.
I should make it clear, we don't know exactly what happened with Mike Tindall and this girl.
The main objection I would have had to it was a dwarf throwing event. I mean, surely that's where your moral compass gets a bit screwy. If you're at a dwarf throwing event and there's people chucking dwarves around, I don't know, I wouldn't feel like I really knew what was right or wrong anyway, you know. Dwarves are flying past you, go, I don't know, am I in a real world or not? Is it all right if I rub my face in her breasts? I don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore.
I think the one thing you wouldn't feel is what Tindall felt, which is horny. I don't be watching a dwarf go, bloody hell, I really fancy that woman.
If the cinematic history of New Zealand has taught us anything, it's that nobody tosses a dwarf.
Well, surprisingly, that's not one of the most talked about things, but this is the story that Mike Tindall was spotted on CCTV acting inappropriately with a mystery blonde. Tindall was chatting to the girl at a dwarf-throwing contest. It was entirely innocent. He just wanted her to help him toss off his little fella.
I think everybody's talking about Dale Farm.
Dale Farm, it sounds lovely. Whereabouts is that?
Sounds like a nice little children's programme, doesn't it?
Today on Dale Farm, someone's throwing bricks at the police.
What I don't understand, it's one of those things that draws sort of... People sort of step on one side of a line or the other, don't they? Like, if you read the Daily Mail, you want the gypsies to go. I don't think there's any Daily Mail reader in the country who thinks, I think they should be able to stay on that land. And the more Guardian reading side would go, well, you know, there's other circumstances here. The point is that they've built on land, not only that they don't have planning permission for, they don't own. So if they are allowed to stay, you know, I should be allowed to go there and build something that I want to build, like a foghorn factory. Something I've always... This is a crazy dream I've always had. They made an episode of Grand Designs about Dale Farm. I remember the strapline of one episode was, winter's drawing in, and they still haven't got planning permission.
Yes, they built loads of houses without planning permission, and then they built a wall to keep the bailiffs from coming in, which they didn't have planning permission for either.
Yeah.
I love that, though. Gypsies versus bailiffs. That's like a Sky TV fight that most people would pay to see. That would be awesome.
And they can fight as well, these travellers. I mean, I fought a few in the day, and they are tough. They love
so you know that Snatch is a film, not a documentary.
That's the weirdest thing about the whole thing, is those shots of caravans and people have written stuff on them to, you know, sympathy, sort of graffiti on their caravan saying, I'm really ill. Please don't chuck me out of my caravan.
Have a look at this. This is my favourite one. Sick person here. That's where the local nonce lives.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, I'm not sure if that's the case.
Well, one of the strangest ones is the girl has had her neck attached to some kind of noose.
Oh, yeah.
It says if you open this gate, she will die.
Have a look at this. Have a look. So, danger of death. Behind this gate is a woman attached by her neck. If you attempt to open this gate, you will kill her. So it'll be your fault.
I think that's really ramping up. It's like a new sort of fairground attraction, isn't it? It used to be like just hooking a duck. Open the gate, kill the lady. Maybe I've got the wrong spirit there.
I had a similar incident where I came out of my house and a spider had built a web across my door.
Right. This is not a similar incident. Hello, is that Basildon Council? I have some advice for you. A similar thing.
It's a similar tense. I can't come out because I'll get stuck in the web and die.
How long had you been in your house?
Baffles me that people are always surprised. So the gypsy community very angry. But they live in caravans. Like, I'd be a bit testy if I had to listen to my nan having a dump while I was having toast.
I think we have to go for the boxing picture.
OK, all right. What do British people prefer, ballet or boxing?
I think boxing.
Yeah.
You think?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Who knew Emil was going to go boxing?
You know what? you get a lot of women now who like boxing. When I fight, 65% of my tickets are bought by women. And I don't know if that's because of boxing or because of me, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's definitely the boxing.
Women you never think about women going to a boxing fight. It's like women going to a football match. I mean, you get a lot going, but 65%.
I've got another shot for you. They're in the pubs now.
Where's it going to end, Sean? They're going to be driving.
I went to the bloody laundrette the other day. There's a man doing the service washes. The world's gone mental. What I want to know about this question is, when you say ballet or boxing, is it to watch or to take part?
Oh, to watch.
I like boxing. I like watching boxing. I think they should make it a bit more entertaining, though, by having car horns in the gloves.
Amir, I've got a boxing question for you.
Go on,
OK,
mate.
youngest ever Olympic medal winner, I believe.
Yep.
You got silver.
Yep.
Silver in boxing, that is second. There's only 2 of you in there. Just saying. Just saying.
How did he become third?
Yeah, that went to the ref.
28 of us in the whole competition in that one division.
Yeah.
I was the youngest. I mean, all the rest were like 30.
It was amazing to watch. It's amazing. I don't see why you can't still be in the Olympics, because the tennis players are in it.
Exactly. It's the only sport, I think, which don't let professionals get involved in the Olympic Games. Imagine they did. It would be so competitive. It would be brilliant.
So once you've gone professional, you can't go back to being unprofessional?
No, amateur.
Amateur.
Yeah,
Amateur.
Professional. I'm not sloppy. They don't just turn up with one glove. So professional. He's wearing skis, for Christ's sake. It's a boxing match. Dr. Murray is accused of being responsible for Michael Jackson's death, which is odd, really, considering that Michael Jackson, apparently, in his house, he had 4 gallons of anaesthetic stored in his house, of serious, you know, like medical anaesthetic, which is probably enough to put Louis Spence to sleep.
That's a lot. That is a lot. They're just trying to work out whether he killed him. And I was thinking, I can't think of a time in the last few years when Michael Jackson was alive and people went, oh, it's Michael Jackson, he looks well.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he hasn't looked himself since 1984.
How do you tell a man he's ill when you go, "You're right, Michael, you're looking a bit pale"? He goes, "Thank you."
Well, I was thinking, before he died, his whole life must have flashed before his eyes. And his last thoughts must be, who's that little black kid singing my song?
The doctor was getting paid £100 a week, though, wasn't he? Yeah. And I was thinking, Michael Jackson's a weirdo, isn't he? Right? So if Michael Jackson was paying me £100 a week, I'd inject him with Haribo if he asked me to. Yes.
But if he's getting that much... if he was getting that much, surely there'd be an incentive to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Well, he does go on a bit, though, doesn't he?
People suspect foul play. The family suspect foul play, and it just, you know...
Well, there was a delay, wasn't there, in resuscitation, giving him the kiss of life, because they it took them ages to find an 8-year-old paramedic.
I love it. I suppose that's it, because you have to hold the nose while you breathe into the mouth, don't you? So that, obviously you don't want... Right, OK, well... Let's have a look and see whether the trial of Michael Jackson's doctor is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the long-awaited trial of Michael Jackson's doctor started this week. Make no mistake, Jackson's name is going to be dragged through the mud at this trial, but when all is said and done, Michael Jackson will remain my absolute favourite self-mutilating, mentally unstable, virtually bankrupt, suspected paedophile junkie of all time. What about the footballer, Tevez?
I really don't know anything about football, but I think
You don't need to say that twice.
He's really expensive, and he refused to go on some big match. And there was some sort of row, and you saw him being like, well, I'm not going on. Which I kind of liked, the kind of thought of like an obnoxious, because I love an obnoxious pop star. You know, like
it's the
pop
sort of
stars
thing
that make people
Axl
wait.
Rose would do.
Yeah, I love that, like not going on yet.
Axl Rose shouldn't have to go on because he's not a footballer, so...
It's a good point, well made, Sarah. I can't argue with that.
If you're on £200,000 a week and your boss says, you won't do half hour for us, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really go, no, I don't want that today. I'm not really asking. Can you go and definitely do... I don't see why he's still here. He's been in the country 4 years and he wants to leave. That's his big thing. He didn't want to play because I don't want to be in the country. I want to go home. I can't speak any English. He's been here 4 years. The only words he's got to learn is like kick, goal. Like the Spanish for goal is goal. The Spanish for football is football. Like, it's not like we're asking him to learn Sanskrit.
He also said it was a miscommunication, didn't he? He said it because what he actually said was, OK, boss, where do you want me to play? But because of his accent, it came out like, I fucking hate Man City. You can piss off, shove it out your arse, you piece of shit. That's an accent thing.
Yeah.
It's just a dialect.
Well, because it's from the Catalan
What he actually
region.
said was, "Ke?"
Do we know why he didn't go up? Like, why he just refused? Was it just... Had he just realised that football's a bit shit? Okay, thanks, love.
Just one, like, fucking yes! Finally, someone said it!
If you look at Tevez, though, he's a very unfortunate-looking chap, isn't he? He does. He looks like Shrek's ugly mate, doesn't he?
I refute that. Let's have a look. He's a great-looking guy. In fairness to him, that was a very sunny day. His flash is still strong. I like it. It's still strong.
Just as well he didn't go on, to be honest, because in that picture I can see he's already broken pretty much the rule of football. This is good, you see? I scored a goal!
He's attention seeking, isn't he? Let's face it, if you're gonna go to a football match and sit on the subs bench, you're probably going to go on, let's face it, you've got to do that. And then he just says no. He's obviously an attention seeker.
You think he's an attention seeker?
Yeah.
He's obviously an attention seeker. It's the most attention-seeking sort of thing I've ever bloody seen. That, my friend, is how you get attention. That's the best way to spot a liar.
Big wooden nose.
Are his pants on fire?
His pants are not on fire. He does not have a big wooden nose. What is the best way to spot a liar?
I can always tell if someone's lying if they go, right, Joe, you look well.
I don't know about looking well. You look like everyone from Guess Who.
Is there an actual truth serum, or is that like a Harry Potter thing? In all honesty, can you actually, like, is there a serum? Like, is it
Yeah,
like...
it's called Bacardi.
Not even...
What's that, Lambrini?
That's gone up in price recently.
What's gone up in price?
It used to be 89p, and I think it's about £2.30 now.
Most people know the price of milk.
Is it if they give you flowers afterwards?
She was just a girl from the office. Please.
I think if you go to a pub 2 days running and the same man is sat in the same chair at the bar, he's definitely full of shit. Any man who ever tells you had trials for, insert name of football club. Every man over 50 has had trials at a football club, and it's as if in the 50s they all just went, let's try everyone. Get everyone in, someone will be brilliant.
It's more about how they tell their story.
Is it?
If they go like that and go, well, the other day, I went to the moon.
Like a weird
loony, they go.
Yeah, like a voodoo priest. That's how they talk.
It's like a funeral in New Orleans.
I tell you a story.
Is that how it's spelled?
I think eye contact could be the answer, Jimmy.
There's no way.
Is it when people give too much detail?
It's not too much detail. I'll tell you the answer. The best way to spot a liar is that they keep changing their story. We've all told lies. I was drunk, he was drunk, we were just having a laugh, I never touched it. It was his idea, I fell on it. I just wanted to know what it tasted like. Nothing happened. I don't even know him. Stop going on about it. Most macho profession, what do you think, Rick? You used to be a male model. That's pretty macho.
Well, I mean, I'd say no.
What's the weirdest thing you had to dress up as, being a male model? You were kind of a fashion model.
It's not really something I had to dress up as. I had to model crotch-enhancing jeans.
And may I say, I'm glad you kept it.
And they didn't have them on the shoot, so in the end I wore my jeans, and then a gentleman stuffed a sock that he sort of moulded into a large kind of sausage that snaked down my leg. And then my mum and dad saw it in a magazine.
What were they doing reading that kind of magazine? Worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The music.
No, the worst thing for me about pop concerts is the miming.
Yeah, because you want to see a show, you don't want to see people going... Get on with it! Bloody sing!
Have you been to any pop concerts, Craig?
I have. I went to Whitney Houston's pop concert.
Not the recent one.
No, darling, the one that was in Africa, her first visit there, and there was a disaster. Because she'd lost her voice.
She'd lost her voice?
Yeah.
What, was it British Airways flying her over there with her?
My friend invited me to a gig at Wembley. I said, yeah, all right, it sounds a bit like it'd be loud and there'll be a lot of people there. But I'll go with it. And he said, there's a slight chance you'll get hit with a pint of piss. And I said, I'm not going. And
what was the gig?
It was Oasis. And he said, sometimes, because it's a lot of people there, so you wee into a glass. Already I'm losing it. But then instead of popping it neatly by the side, he said they have a wee and then they just... Boom. Sometimes you get hit with a pint of piss, but it's very unlikely. I need it to be 0 chance of getting hit. And then people start singing. I don't want you to do it, dickhead. I paid 60 quid to come to your house, did I, and hear you sing Michael Bolton, but I just get terrified of losing my friends. It's so big, the gigs, you know. I'm going to get back out there. I'm never going to find him. And then I wouldn't have come on my own, but now I'm on my... Proclaimers were good. I enjoyed the Proclaimers. They did an indoor venue with seats, so there's no standing up, but they did new stuff. I haven't come to watch the Proclaimers to see your new ever, lads. Do the two.
Someone needs to have a word with pop bands about the new stuff.
That is the worst thing when they say, and here's one of our new songs. You can hear the whole room go,
I hate going to pop concerts because of the toilet situation for the women, because I'm not a big advocate of pissing in cups. So I have to queue for the loos, and I used to, like, sort of push in and say, like, oh, I'm pregnant. But I don't want to push in anymore, because I heard a story about a girl who pushed in and got into a portaloo, and then the crowd kind of turned feral, and they pushed the portaloo over with her in it. And I don't know if that's an urban legend, but I don't want to risk it.
That makes me proud to be British. You know, the Tory party conference, when they talk about the British spirit and what it is to be British and coming together as a community, that is the example they should have used. She pushed in the queue, did she? Well, she could be covered in poo. Good on them.
I tell you what I always find weird at when you go to see a band these days is they have that gap, don't they, between the stage and the audience. And they have those stewards there, these massive, great big blokes in polo shirts, and they're not seeing the band. They're staring at the audience. And the idea of trying to have a good time with this 18-stone Glaswegian just staring at them. And he's obviously got a court appearance on Monday. If you're trying to have fun, if you're in your living room trying to have fun and there's just a big bloke staring at you going, "You're having fun, are you, son?" They're all from Glasgow, aren't they, those fellas?
Yeah, and they're always lifting people out as well. I always think that's... Is there someone in from Glasgow now? Hello? OK, well, there's an AA meeting just up the road. Anything else? the worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The crowds, darling, the crowds.
It's to do with the crowds. It's a very specific thing about...
When there's a very tall person standing in front of you.
That is exactly the right answer. Yes, the worst thing about going to a pop concert is standing behind a tall person, especially if you've gone to see Jedward, because if you're standing behind someone really tall, they could block your shot, and you have to kill them both. All right, so next one. Top thing travellers miss when abroad.
Is it all the dead celebrities? Well, you go away and you don't know who's died. And 2 years later, you're in the pub having a chat, and you go, yeah, anyway, so-and-so. They go, who's dead? And you go, when? Turns out, when you were on holiday.
It is sneaky, isn't it? Yeah.
That annoys the out of me.
You're from Australia, aren't you? Technically, you're abroad now.
Well, I've been living here for 22 years,
Yeah.
so... And I have become a British citizen.
Well, I need to see your papers, and we can move on.
Papers! Where are your papers? Glenn Goodman, I bet he still likes to see your papers, doesn't he? He's still in the Home Guard. I imagine in between takes he shows you his ration book. Oh, there you go. I'll get you sugar, nylons, anything you want.
What do you miss when you go away, Anna?
I think I misunderstood the question because I was thinking of travellers. I was going to say caravans and evading planning commission.
The top thing they miss isn't Dale Farm.
No.
You probably miss the imperial measurement system. You're probably flummoxed by where's the nearest village? 17 3/4 fathoms. We have kilometres, and it's really easy.
Yeah, you've also got euros. Good luck with that. Just saying.
It's worse than recession. I've lived through several recessi, and this is worse than those. Thanks for bringing it up.
Is this the worst one, you think?
I don't know. I'm sure it was worse during the potato famine. But in my lifetime, it's not great.
I don't know what the modern equivalent would be of a potato famine in Ireland. It would be if Abracababra shut down.
It is a kebab joint where I was in it recently, and a homeless man was thrown out, and he just stuck his head. It's sort of a spinning mystery meat type establishment, and the homeless man a minute later just stuck his head right in the door and went and then just landed this perfect gob onto the thing as it spun. And the guy walks over with the big knife. He's like, oh God, and he just picks the sort of spot, like the 2-inch spot where it landed. Like, there we go. Now what would everyone like? Taking care.
It's about the comfort of home.
Your own bed?
That's the right answer. Yes, the top thing travellers miss when abroad is their own bed. I hate the way hotel beds can magically turn what was clearly a beautiful, exotic woman the night before into an unshaven Oriental man in the morning. John, have you ever been in love?
The first 2 people I fell in love with...
2?
Hedge your bets. Different occasions, both ended with their partners telling me to stop phoning their home. The first one was a clown, who I fell in love with when I was about 8. He opened a shopping centre near me, and I was transfixed. This guy could juggle, he could do magic, he had poems.
How old was the clown and how old were you?
Clown must have been in his late 20s, early 30s. I'm maybe 9 or 10. I asked for a picture. He's given me his card. It's only got his phone number on it. He obviously wants me to call. I left a few messages. And one day when I phoned up, his wife picked up, that bitch.
This sounds like an implausible story that the clown told the police. Like, no, he was calling me.
I like the idea of you phoning out and going, what are you wearing? I got the big shoes on.
It wasn't a sexual thing, it was just the love between a child and a clown.
When did you first fall in love with a woman?
In Torquay, on holiday. Took her to see Men in Black. Rained on the way out, give my coat, did the whole thing. Little pity kiss at the end of the week, which I'll be honest, I may have misread. Started phoning. She's not picking up the phone either, little minx. So what I did, bought one of those school exercise books, and across every line of every page, I wrote I love and then her name. If I made a mistake, tore the page out, and then I posted it to her.
Not creepy, glad that's not creepy.
symbol of commitment and grammatical accuracy.
Well, let's have a look and see whether first love is one of the most important moments in life. Most men say that when they fall in love, they can't tell if it's the real thing. I can. I have a special little indicator that sticks up. OK, John Sting, what's the other most important moment in life?
People do babies, don't they?
You made it sound like litter.
I think the only reason I want to have kids is so I can look at other people's without being accused of being a paedophile. Like when you walk past a... I don't mean in that word.
No, dig yourself out of this. I'd love to see this. He's got a shovel. He's on your marks, John, and dig your way out of that one.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground.
Sure. He's going deeper before he even starts the dig.
Sometimes you're walking past a playground and you just want to be able to watch the abandon of children. It's like watching nature. It's like when you watch the leaves change in autumn. Sometimes you want to watch a kid on a swing and think, oh, I used to be on swings before I had jobs and before people judged me and before I wasn't allowed to be in a park. And then before you know it, you've been there half an hour and someone says, oh, which one's yours? You go, I'll go then. Fine. I'm not... It's a nice... And sometimes a baby will look at you.
What you should say is, I haven't chosen yet.
Sometimes they look at you, though. Sometimes you're on a train and... They look at you! You're the weirdos for making it weird, weirdos. Sometimes you're on a train and a baby looks at you and smiles, just in a way a baby would, and yet you want, as a woman, if you look over and pull a face, you go, oh, it's the maternal instinct kicking in. She's just communicating with the baby. If I look over and go, can someone get Captain Weirdo off the train, please?
It sort of depends on whether or not you've got your cock in your hand.
Dr. Christian, is there anything that we can do to get John chemically castrated? You haven't got kids?
Absolutely no desire to have children whatsoever. Yeah, you can't... They just linger too long and you can't have a life.
They do linger, don't they?
Yeah.
They go on living is another way to say
They go on.
They linger. I mean, if they lasted 5 years, it'd be perfect, but no.
I never wanted kids, really. I just wanted one of those big American fridges. You know, the really big ones. Yeah. I thought it'd be ridiculous to get one of those. It's just me and my partner there, and like a lasagna and a lemon rolling around with it. I thought, better have some kids, fill it out with yoghurt.
Well, I didn't think that I was very maternal until I had my baby.
Isn't that a bit late, though?
Yeah.
Really, that's kind of fine, isn't it?
But then it was fine. No, honestly, you know...
Yeah, but what if it wasn't? You can't put it back in, can you? You can't, can you? No, you can't.
But see, if you do have every drug under the sun, don't... If somebody comes at you...
Not whilst you're pregnant, I should confirm.
No, but in labour, have everything. You know these folks that lie on beanbags and they have candles? No. No. You want to be numb, as God intended. You want to be numb from the waist down, knowing nothing about it until they give you a beautiful baby.
That's conception or birth.
Well... honestly, have everything.
I've never heard anything more Scottish than that. Take all the drugs that you can. Seriously, all of them. Get all of them. It's brilliant. It's like you only had the baby for the high.
No, but it is really... Honestly, I recommend it.
It's expensive, though.
No, it's on the NHS.
Well, they've worked out.
It doesn't cost you anything. It's on the National Health Service.
No, he's saying having children,
no, I mean raising children.
Not the drugs. I know a guy that can get it for a £5.
I never really forget, like, the day I passed my driving test, probably the most significant. Because then you can go anywhere, can't you? Get the motor running. I mean, it won't surprise anyone to learn that I received a minor on my driving test for excessive caution. That's right, ladies. Really annoyed me. You know you're a fanny when on your driving test the instructor's saying, so when I tap the dashboard, I want you to slow down, but for the rest of the time, can you friggin' strap on a pair and just put your foot down?
I think it's a big time for, you know, teenagers passing their test. I just think it's a very strange thing that we pick that time in life to give kids the opportunity to drive. You know, it's the most sort of hormonally volatile you can be. So are you emotionally insecure and randomly aggressive? Here, have a machine that can kill yourself and others. You know, like...
When can you apply for your provisional licence?
I do drive a car, mate. I drive a Polo 1.2. It's blue.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, exactly.
I drive a Ford Fiesta. It's Spanish for party.
I feel completely left out.
Do you drive?
I've never passed my driving test. I took it once and failed it so appallingly badly, I said I'm never, ever going to drive again, and I haven't.
I respect you for that. I think if you fail your test 3 times, you should be banned for at least 10 years. People think they have a right to drive, and they're like, well, I'll get there in the end. Well, you're clearly shit at this. You have to be told to stop now. Like, I failed 6 times, but then I passed on the 7th. Well, you're probably still shit.
Do you drive, Sarah?
Yeah, I passed second time. Apparently all the safest drivers are those who passed the second time. But I drove into oncoming traffic in my first one. But I didn't on the second one. But they don't teach you everything that you really need to learn to drive in the lessons, do they? They don't teach you, like, how to balance all your snacks on the passenger seat.
Open the crisps when you're at the services, because it's difficult to open them when you're driving along.
Yeah, but I can't open a bottle between my thighs.
She can.
Really impressive if it's one of those gross bottles. Came out here for that.
I went to Australia. I didn't find them very welcoming because I'm quite fair-skinned and wearing shorts was a big deal. So on the first day I was there, I walked into a cafe and the guy behind the counter looked up at me and went, I don't know where it is you're from, mate, but I'm guessing it's winter there.
I'm from Wales. It's been winter there for years.
Surely as a Welshman you've been called worse things than that.
Oh yeah, but you know, it was so precise. He'd seen my thighs and thought, I'm going to take the piss out of that guy. Look at his skin.
Very good accent. Can you put the bit of Queen on that?
What if the Queen was doing that?
What do you think of
Hang on, she's from Hong Kong. Well, I can tell you that's not one of the most talked about things this week. But the Queen, as head of state, is obviously staying in Australia's most prestigious hotel, Lassiter's. John, Chappie, Alice, what else have people been talking about this week?
They're having meetings to sort out the European debt, but they can't stop bickering. Angela Merkel is basically the one who's trying to fix it all, and Silvio Berlusconi called her una colonna inchiavabile, which means an unshaggable lard arse. It just proves that if English were Italian, men would get away with a lot more. Sounds quite nice, doesn't it?
Someone in the press I read said that the relationships between the European leaders is at an all-time low. I thought, well, not really. In 1939, it was a lot worse. What do you think about it, Joe?
I think it's great.
Yeah?
Yeah, looking forward.
That's the wrong answer.
Oh, shit.
It's the Eurozone crisis.
Hoping to get a point for that. Like Sarkozy's sort of involved in it quite a lot, and I just keep thinking about his wife. She's well fit. And I feel like he must be in this meeting going, oh, come on. I want to get home and... Yeah, I know Eurozone, but... Oh, God, it's...
You've really sort of got into the psyche of a French man, I feel.
The Belgian finance minister left one meeting early because he had tickets to see Tintin. And I like the idea that when he was excusing himself, they're like, right, OK, what are we going to talk... We need to sort this out with the Greeks. And he was like, I need to shoot off. Because it's Orange Wednesday.
Let's have a look and see if the Eurozone crisis is one of the most talked about things this week. So at the end of the round, Sean, Joe and Louis have 1 point. John, Chappie and Alice have 2. Our next Next round is pick of the polls. Sean, Joe, Louis, what do you like the look of?
I don't know, I can't see.
Have a little look.
I'm going to speak for you, Louis, and go for the man dancing.
OK.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
OK?
Yeah.
OK, do you want to sit down now?
I couldn't see from there, that's why.
I know, yeah.
No, not at all, no.
But here's your related question. Most people think being a bad dancer is more embarrassing than being bad at sport. True or false?
I'm brilliant at both. I couldn't tell you if I'm a better dancer or a better footballer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just outstanding at both.
What form of dance suits your moves best?
I can only dance to reggae. It's like an affliction. If it starts, I just dance, and I can only stop if someone turns it down.
Yeah. It just sort of wrestles you to the ground.
Yeah. But I'm stronger than I look, so I get up.
I did that Let's Dance for Comic Relief. I did Hey Mickey, and I didn't get into the final. I worked so hard on that. I worked harder on that than I did in my A-levels.
Yeah, I watched that. You're crap, that's why.
But right, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Sorry, can I get a saucer of milk, please? Louis' claws are out.
I practiced so hard, I actually fractured my wrist. Did you see my cartwheel?
Fractured your
I
wrist?
did that on a fractured wrist.
That wasn't
OK, and afterwards I was...
How did you fracture your wrist practicing?
Oh, God, look,
What were you doing?
go...
What was the dance?
You go, oh, Mickey, yes, and I did it like that, Hey Mickey. In my kitchen, I have a small kitchen, and I twatted it on the kitchen handle.
And sorry, your dance, I didn't see it, but your dance was that? Really? And you didn't get through to the final? You were robbed. That's amazing.
That's what they do at Heathrow to direct planes.
Oh, you all right, love? Just having a dance. Louis, when you watch other people dance, are you critical? Like when you see...
No, he's not critical at is it?
Someone needs to let it go, Chappie. Someone needs to let... Oh, even that's better than yours. I was just saying let it go, it's better. Most useful thing your parents teach you?
Cooking, cleaning, sewing. That's what I learned from my dad. My mum taught me how to make jokes based on stereotypical perceptions of gender.
That is good, though, isn't it?
My dad said, if you go to university, you get catered halls. And I asked why, and he went, before I met your mother, I lived on boiled eggs and club biscuits. And I said, what happened? And he went, I got really horrific depression. And he just left it at that.
My parents taught me this.
Oh, wow. Do that again.
That's good.
Yeah. They taught me that. That's what they've given me.
Are they circus folk?
Sean, what did you learn from your parents?
Well, my dad, as I left home, he said, just remember this, son, the best services on the M1, Newport Pagnell. On you go.
What did your parents teach you?
Me? Price changing. Just how to take the, just how to take the label off really slowly and then change on the food, whatever you wanted. You just
Take a label off from a cheaper item and place it on the item you would like to buy.
One, yeah.
They scan it through. It's not shoplifting.
Yeah.
This bottle of champagne's 79 pence.
My mum taught me that there's only one lake in the Lake District.
Wow. Your mum sounds like a bundle of laughs.
And I know which lake it is. Bassenthwaite.
It's Bassenthwaite Lake.
Yeah.
What about Windermere?
We're actually brothers.
Windermere's a mere.
We're brothers. We share a mother.
Sorry, what's a mere?
A mere, it's not a lake, but it's a different type of water. It's a mere.
It's a different type of water. A smaller version of a sea with no salt in it. It's a lake, mate. Where's your mum? Get her here now.
I don't like the way you said that. Poor up. She's watching this. Yeah. I apologise for what they've said about you, and I enjoy my lake fact, and I use it at parties.
OK, I'll give you a clue. It's to do with spending.
Always marry into money.
Don't get in debt.
What, you're pretty close with that.
Well, don't get in debt. Really don't get in debt.
I'll tell you the answer. It's the value of money. My parents taught me how to be self-reliant. Even now, if something goes wrong at 2 in the morning, I'm the one that gets up and phones my agent to send someone round to fix it. Most men are too embarrassed to undergo beauty treatments. True or false?
Well, you've undergone a few, or is that a natural tan?
This is natural.
Oh.
That's a natural tan, is it?
I've had sunbeds, but I've quit sunbeds now. I don't have sunbeds no more, so...
You've quit sunbeds?
Quit.
My God, so you've made some sacrifices, haven't you? When did you quit sunbeds?
Like last week.
So, what's your daily regime, beauty-wise? What do you do, beauty-wise?
Obviously, you know, I wake up, look at myself, and I think, dream. But then I get, then what? Then I get in the shower, do my hair afterwards, bang, bang. What are you saying?
Bang, bang, and who's over there?
That's meant to be the mirror.
Oh, I thought that was your carer. Jennifer, you're a lady. Now, do you think men are too pampered these days? Do we do too much?
Yeah, I do. I like men, like, hairy, smelly. They come far.
Johnny Vegas.
Can feel
John, do you do any?
No, I wouldn't say I'm too embarrassed. I just think the prettier you are, the more you're going to disappoint someone at some point, because they'll think, oh, that's the one, and then you go,
So you don't do anything, you don't do any
I had
beauty
my
treatment?
first extraneous nostril hair this week.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the first one. I was driving and I just checked my rearview mirror and it was there.
Hello!
That was the first vanity issue I've had of like, well, that needs sorting, and there's no reason I shouldn't have just let them all come out.
How'd you get it out?
No.
I just pulled and I pulled until I cried.
When you go to Boots and buy your first nasal trimmer, the way the girl looks at you know, and she slides it across with the beep.
I don't know, Johnny.
What, and you can't look away, because if you look away, you give them a better angle.
Sure. Beauty treatments.
I have had waxing, but I won't take my trousers off. They have to do it keyhole.
So what do you think?
I'm going to get you a diffuser.
A what?
And then the can't technically say even that's another step away from blow drying.
A diffuser?
Yeah, it's one, you know, the little spikes in it, you just run it through. What it does, it breaks it up and you'll get no split ends.
What have you done with a real Johnny Vegas?
Johnny, what do you use on your hair?
Hey, sunshine, I had a perm, all right, that, 2 minutes. I used to lacquer, I used a mousse, I used a diffuser. Didn't towel dry, because that created heat and friction. No, I'd wrap round, I'd give it 20 good minutes. I treated it with respect. I hope that falls out.
I didn't mean no offence to that, man.
Yeah, well, you did, and you know what? Give out for that. Look after it, you don't know where you go while you're young.
OK. So most men are too embarrassed to undergo beauty treatments.
I'm going bald! Look at that.
That's not that bad. No. I'm worse than that. Mind you, I think that's because I have very vivid dreams. I drive my head into the pillow.
OK, so most men are too embarrassed to undergo beauty treatments. True or false? What are you going to say, Sean?
True.
You think it's true? You think they are too embarrassed?
Yes,
Sean,
I do,
what do you
yes.
think?
Team?
Jennifer, what do you think? Are most men too embarrassed?
False.
You're going to go false? OK. I can tell you the answer is false. Oh. They got it. Yes. Yes, only 43% of men said they'd be too embarrassed to have beauty treatments. These days, you can even get your arsehole bleached. That's what Liz Hurley did with Shane Warne. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Top thing British people lie about.
I think most people lie about any sentence that starts, I know a lovely place. Like when you go for dinner or to a pub and they go, oh, I know a great little place. And it's miles away and it's shit. How was that your anecdote? I know a great place and it stinks and the food's crap. So now I hate the place and you for liking it.
It's telling your partner or your wife that they're your best friend. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's such a lie, isn't it? Because if you don't go out for 14 pints with your wife, do you? You don't say to your wife, let's go and have 14 pints. Because you do with a best friend, don't you? Go, let's go and have 14 pints.
Why 14?
Funny number.
I lie about drinking quite a lot. Like, I'll say I only had 3 glasses of wine, and then I'll go, oh no, I did have another 3 glasses of wine. And then I did kick a toddler in the face. It's a worry.
I lied about Christine Brinkley. I say I saw Christine Brinkley. She was modelling flippers on the Albert Bridge. I see her at all. I say, you know Christine Brinkley?
Yeah.
She used to be my taekwondo teacher.
Is she?
Yeah. You know, I go, no, Christine Brinkley. I bought her she'd be on telly, and I go, see that woman there, Christine Brinkley? Years ago, I bought a reconditioned Flymo off her.
Sorry, is that true or not, Sean? Did you buy a reconditioned Flymo?
No, just make it up for a bit of fun. Just make up all these stories about Christine Brinkley. And you know the canoe man? He hid in her loft for a year.
Do you know Christine Brinkley, yeah?
I do actually know Christine Brinkley.
Well,
She's a nice woman.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's not. I make up lies about her.
John, what do you lie about?
Everything, constantly. I lie about people's names. Like, if the first thing you had to do when you saw someone was say their name, people who've known me for years would find out that, actually, I don't really care who they are. I don't think anyone really knows anyone's name.
Do you know what? I call everyone, yeah, if I don't know someone's name, for some reason I call them Ashley.
That's good. That's good, because a lot of us have been just calling them mate or pal or all right, fella.
For some reason...
But Ashley's much better, because if it is Ashley, quid's in.
Is it age? Do people lie about age?
Oh, that age is number 2 on the list.
Is it their weight?
It's not worth lying about. Genuinely, people know I'm not 9 stone. I've tried it regularly.
It's to do with partners.
Sexual partners.
That was the right answer.
Did that at the beginning.
Yes, the top thing British people lie about is the number of sexual conquests they've had. I've rounded mine up to 2.
I watched X Factor this week, and it was very exciting because Cecil was off sick, so Nadia had to step in. Neville was in the bottom 2 because Phyllis said his song choice was all wrong. Anyway, he got saved and Humphrey's gone out. And I might have got the names wrong, but frankly, who gives a shit? Because the one I hate is Frankie Kokoza.
Oh.
They're desperate to report that he's cool in my desperate campaign against the most despicable human on earth. This week, they said, he's been out on a 12-hour bender. He went to Wetherspoons and had a few beers with his mates. Then they went to a club, he got ID'd, and they went back to a house. That's hardly like Oasis throwing a donkey through a hotel window or anything, is it? He got ID'd and he went home. That's not a bender, is it? And then he took 3 girls this week to car parks.
What?
He took them to NCP... Well, fair play. It's more expensive to take a girl to an NCP car park than a hotel.
I hate it. You've got to have no talent at all and go on there and they're awful.
Have you heard Frankie
Leona
Kokoza?
Lewis, no talent?
Well, she can sing, but that's about it.
Yeah, but she's a singer, so that's like the most important
I
part.
mean, I can't sing as good as her, but I've been struggling for years to get to this position, to get on this show.
Looking now, though.
It is a weird thing, though, because, like, from your world, from sort of, you know, if you're a rapper, could a rapper ever get anywhere
Well, it's
on
not
X
even
Factor?
rappers. Like, you know, anyone who started off from, like, you know, grassroots or underground, you know, like touring for years. Like, I've done nearly 1,500 gigs, and you know, sort of, you do all these gigs. It's, you know, like stand-up comedy. You know, start off at the bottom and just build your way up, and then if you're good, you get a chance at making it if you work really hard. And these guys, seemingly, just come out of nowhere on TV for a couple of months, and then they've, you know, record contracts and...
A lot of them on X Factor go on to become household names, like
And then-
Vanish.
I thought it was completely laughable. They had Alexandra Burke as a guest judge on there. That's like having Stevie Wonder judging Miss World, isn't it? It's like... You know, you know, everyone's got an opinion. Loads of people think I'm awful, so I don't really mind.
Louis Walsh, what do you think about him?
Well, you know, he's all right. See, I met Louis in Dublin, and I was offered to write songs for, you know, the winners, because I can write songs.
Did you?
And he was like, "We need hits! We need hits!"
That is exactly how I imagined he said it.
We need hits, 1,000,000% hits.
From what I can make out, his job on the show seems to just be to explain where people are from and what they look like. Every time he says, "John, you're tall, you're from Ireland," and that's basically... think I could probably do that, Lou. Every contestant. Sharon, you're a girl. You sing songs. You were born in 1985.
I mean, if they covered one of your songs, wouldn't that just kill it for you, your credibility as an artist?
Well, no, I mean, I'd probably have a choice in that.
Would you have a choice? Can they?
Nah.
I don't think you do.
I'd like to hear Johnny Robinson do some examples. Johnny Robinson does example.
Question. Most people think children today are given too much praise. True or false?
Children do get praised too much. For example, I mean, my kids, they get praised for, like, eating peas. And they eat some peas, and even they spit them out and go... Still go, oh, well done for trying the peas. 100 years ago, they'd been shoved up chimneys. And now they're just going, well done, you've eaten some peas. Oh, you're clever. And any piece of daubing scribble ends up on the fridge. Anything, just be shit. You just go, what is that? What are you drawing, an amoeba? What the... Oh, Christ. It's a tiger or a house. I don't know. You don't know. And then it ends up on the fridge. In my day, it was either the Blue Peter Gallery or the bin. Do you praise your children?
Yeah, I do. I encourage them because I want them to be confident, and I think children can really, I don't know, they can take everything in like a sponge, and then their confidence can go. So I think it's important to encourage kids.
My perception's totally skewed by my old man. That's why I've got no, like, everything my dad's good at is the stuff I'm shit at, and everything he didn't like is the stuff I was good at, because I had to just be opposite to him. Like, he's got all the physical skills. He can look at a shelf and put it up. Get up, slag! And it just goes up like
What about kids these days? Do you think kids are kind of given too much praise?
Yeah, definitely. My dad was harsh on me. He's like, I'm going to get in the music game. He was like, good luck with that. And he's like, come to me when you got a top 40. I was like, Dad, I'm number 19 in the charts. He's like, come to me when you got a top 10. I was like, Dad, I'm number 6. So Dad, come to me when you're number 1. I was like, Dad, I'm number 1. It's like, come to me when you sold out Sweden.
My dad, he was quite interesting. He would give you some encouragement if, you know, on certain things. Like, he used to play that game. You know that game, Spine in a Sack? We used to play that. Do you ever play that?
Spine.
Spine. You ever play that when you were a kid? Spine in a Sack.
Spine in a sack.
Spine in a Sack.
It sounds more like
what he'd do is he'd go out and get some roadkill. Well, he'd get a roadkill, and he'd whip the spine out, get the old spine out, then he'd break up all the vertebrae, put it in a sack, then he'd bounce it on our heads, right? And we'd have to guess what animal it was.
Spine in a sack.
Spine in a sack.
Spine in a sack.
I mean, you probably called it something different, back in a bag or something. Whatever, it's the same game.
Are you guys winding me up? Is there really a game?
Do it, and I'd go, oh, is it chipmunk, Dad? And you go, don't be stupid, that's not even indigenous. How am I going to find that on a road? Harder, Sean, work harder! Do you never play it?
No, I'm really shocked because I don't know if you're winding me up or not. I'd be mortified if my dad put a dead animal on the sack and started bouncing it on my head.
Yeah. This is in the 60s, I think my dad was taking a lot of drugs at that time.
Honestly, I don't know what to think.
No, he didn't know. I made it up for a joke. Very nice man, my dad. Very nice.
Did play kidneys in a shoe, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Most annoying habit.
I got loads of these. People who breathe through their nose when they've got a cold and they've got a little snot flap.
Oh. That is bad.
That's bad. Clicking open and closed. How can you not hear that? People next door can hear that thing. Yeah. People who laugh at texts and then don't tell you. Oh, who was that? Don't matter. Yeah. And then people who, when you're in a bit of a bad mood, keep asking you what's wrong. There's nothing wrong. Seriously, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong. I'm just in a bad mood. What's wrong? It's you now. Just get out of my face.
The thing you do, I can't stand it. That thing you do like a little skip, you go, and then you go... You go...
But Sean, you try it. If you walk from there to there, you've got to then turn round.
Look, you just do that.
Well, how would you do it? How would you do it? Fine, let's see.
Small card.
It's not easy, Sean. Yeah, OK, all right. Sean lock, everyone. Sean lock.
You don't do this.
What is your problem? I've got a wobbly head. I've got a wobbly head.
Apart from that, I think you're great. I think you're amazing, Jimmy.
So, most annoying habit...
Nose picking.
That is the right answer. Nose picking, yeah. Yes, the most annoying habit is nose picking. I tell you, he was terrible at nose picking. Michael Jackson. He just could not make up his mind. How do you think America's changed the world?
Music?
Yeah, sure. That's
Oh,
a
there'll
good
be
one.
music, rock and roll.
I'll go with hip hop too.
Hip hop, yeah.
The hippity hop.
Yeah.
the what's it?
The hippity hop.
That's the least funky thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'll tell you what my bugbear with the musics, right, that they do.
Stop calling it the musics, because you're even making unhip people feel uncomfortable.
Fine. Enjoy your musics, do all that, but don't screw with grammar as well. Like rock n roll was the first time it was accepted. Like, well, we can't say and. We can't say rock and. So now it's rock and now it's spread to fish and the chips. There's a reason it's not Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, because there's nothing wrong with saying rock and roll just to make yourself sound cooler, just because rock sounds cool, but I'm not having it.
Well, of course, Elvis is credited as kicking off rock and roll, because these days, Ollie, people don't even know what show he was on.
They did Frank Sinatra as well, though. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. You said Michael Jackson was a big influence
King
on
of
you.
pop, yeah.
King of pop.
I think he's influenced on any artist in this industry. Massive.
Not just in this industry. He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I really held
Flying
back.
it.
No, say what you want about him. He was a hell of a paedophile.
The world of movies and Hollywood and glitz and glamour. I've been to Hollywood.
Of course you have, look at you.
I went out there.
On a geography field trip.
And I've been to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You haven't got a star on the Walk of Fame, have you? The Pussycat Dolls haven't got a Walk of Fame star. Because I walked along, sort of checking out all the names, and like Rin Tin Tin's got one, and Lassie, and Godzilla. Who are they going to get next? The Lurpak bloke with the trombone? I mean, it's just... it seems like anyone can have a star on the Walk of Fame.
The problem with Hollywood is it's too cool and it just makes your real life look shit. Like, once in my life, I would like to be able to do a speech like he does in Gladiator, where he turns around and does all that. But you can't. Member of the AA, owner of a knackered microwave, and I will have my pudding. This room or the next.
I think what Hollywood has done to a cinema, in one way, has ruined it. It's because all the food people take in, people who never normally litter anywhere, in cinema, they just finish their popcorn, they just go boom, like that. Cans of boom, like that. People just chuck shit everywhere, and the lights come up, and it looks like Dale Farm.
Have you made any films out there, Russell? You're in Hollywood.
I have. I've been a couple.
You're in Source Code,
I was in Source Code.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah, you were in Source
Thanks.
Code.
You were
in Source
Have you seen Source Code?
Nobody.
Yeah, it's a great
You're in
film.
Source Code, and you play basically yourself. You play quite a grumpy man on a train.
I played a grumpy version of me.
You get the best line in the whole film, I think.
Which one?
I'm on my way to an convention.
Oh, yeah?
I recognise him. I recognise this geezer from somewhere. Just watching that film recently.
Most men would rather be good at martial arts than DIY. True or false?
Well, why can't you have both? Just total all-round guy.
Yeah, you put up a shelf and then take it straight down.
Where's DIY?
What is... Stop doing DIY and Kung Fu at the same time. Kimberly has a question. Kimberly.
What is DIY?
It's putting up shelves. You know, DIY, do it yourself.
Like carpentry.
Yes, carpentry.
Yeah, carpentry.
Joinery. You know, all kinds of things. Plumbing, you can do a bit of plumbing in it.
Okay.
What do you call that in America, then?
Handyman.
Handyman.
Or a Mexican.
There's no real benefits to being good at DIY, whereas, you know, martial arts.
There's no benefit to being good at DIY. DIY is impressive, I think. If you can do... I've got nothing. I've got no ability to change plugs and do things around the house, and it's emasculating.
Yeah, but if you're going to get robbed in an alleyway, you don't want to be like, hey, I'll build you a shelf. And you can put my wallet on there.
You can build a really high shelf, you won't be able to reach it. Very good point. And also, you get to make those noises, don't you, with martial arts, like... And you only make those noises if you're really bad at DIY.
Wait, do you become Irish when you do DIY?
Do you do any martial arts?
I used to do a little bit when I was younger, yeah.
What did you used to do?
Just martial arts, yeah.
Oh. No, sorry, we're talking about fighting rather than just cleaning windscreens. What was it? Mixed martial art? Was it karate? Was it? I just want to know what I'm dealing with if things kick off between them.
Nothing's going to kick off, you'll be fine. But what do the women prefer, though? Martial arts or DIY?
Martial art, yeah, the DIY, they came in pretty quick, though. They seem keener. They seem more desperate.
It's DIY short term with a boyfriend, isn't it? And then martial arts long term when you've got a nice house to protect.
Have you ever... I mean, because presumably with the dancing, you become very fit and you become very flexible and stuff. Have you ever tried any martial arts? Have you ever...
I've done kickboxing.
You've done kickboxing?
Mm-hmm.
So you could beat someone up?
Yes.
Only if it's a box.
OK, so Sean, what are you going to go for? What do you think people would prefer?
I think most men would rather be good at martial arts.
OK, you're going martial arts. What do you think you're going to go for, John?
Well, I think it's DIY, because you would save money then, wouldn't you? And people are tight, so...
DIY.
OK, I can tell you the answer is false. 62% of men would rather be good at DIY than martial arts. They're right. In a fight, I let my fist do the talking. Please don't hurt me. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Worst thing about shopping for clothes?
Women.
Oh. You don't like shopping with?
No, when you go out with women, it's always a bit of a... I'm sure the other guys here will vouch for me.
You're crazy. It's great. It's the best thing ever. They come out and they look at a different dress and go, oh, my God, that's totally different, that outfit. And
you think, well, I don't know about that one, because I don't know... Try the first one on again.
If you're lucky, you can see a little crack in Joe's room, you can see somebody's knickers.
That is the best.
That's the best thing ever, but you have to go out shopping a lot to get that. It's going to happen on every 10th trip, you're going to get that.
Oh, but when it happens, a bit... Oh.
Yeah.
A well-placed mirror and a bit of weird side boob.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Somebody's casually forgotten and they bent over, knocked the curtain back, and you just got, like, maybe 2 seconds of it, and you just go, that's why I'm alive!
Do you like shopping?
I'm not the biggest shopper ever. I hate trying things on. That's what puts me off.
I always think it's weird trying things on because it only really tells you what it looks like when you're standing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit different if you sit down, you kind of, Well, OK, if I suck everything in and stand here in front of a mirror at a weird angle, this looks delightful.
They should have loads of different things in there for you to see how you look on them. For example, they have, like, a bicycle. And you go... Exactly. And then, like, a swing. It doesn't look so good on the swing.
I don't like, at the moment, there's shirtless men standing outside shops, sort of intimidating me. It's an American thing, isn't it? Where
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah, Abercrombie
exactly.
and Fitch. It's a bit like saying, look, you'll never look like this. Cover yourself up, mate.
John, do you shop ever?
No, I just have to wait until someone my size dies. I bought a pair of shorts from a charity shop once. I wasn't sure about it because they were $1.50. I was like, Got them home. £20 note. Best day of my life.